up, guys? As you see here, we have a lot of baits. We have a lot of baits right here. You see we got this box, a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff. We got this box, more stuff, even more stuff. There's a lot of tackle when it comes to this, you know? Even more stuff, a lot of stuff. And we're not done yet. Even more stuff. See, right here, I don't know if you actually can see that. Let's point this down a little bit. There's a lot of tackle. There's a lot of tackle. I got a lot of tackle this year. This is not even like all of it. I got tackle boxes over there. Actually, hold on a second. On top of that, I also have all these Googan baits in here. There's so many baits this year, right? So many. And as you guys know, oh goodness. As you guys know, spring is here, or if it's not here for you, it's right around the corner. Today's video, I'm gonna show you guys my top 3 spring baits. There are so many baits you can use in spring. Like, these aren't like the only baits you can use. These are just baits that I've used in previous springs, and I've caught a lot of bass on, and that I have a lot of confidence in when I'm fishing in any body of water in the springtime. So I don't know why I dumped out all these baits on the table, because I have to put them all away, but in the meantime, I should probably get rid of them here. We're just gonna slide it off, all of it off the table in there. Besides these, not this, not that, nope. Also, I did want to say this video is sponsored by Catchco and Carl's Bait and Tackle. All these baits you guys saw, I'm not even kidding, every single one of these I got from Carl's Bait and Tackle, and I got all 30% off all my Googan baits, all name brand stuff. I got 30% off. All you guys gotta do is click that link down below in the description. You get 1 free month, and then it's a $50 yearly membership, but you get 30% off name brands. Like, for example, I just picked up a bunch of new Googan Squad jigs, which I might film a video on soon, explaining the differences between all of them. But all the name brand stuff, you get 30% off, free shipping. It's an amazing deal. If you buy tackle a lot, you're gonna need it. Hit that link down below, check it out, guys, and let's get into the first bait. So bait number 1, my first bait I'm picking up when I'm on the water in springtime is gonna be the spinnerbait, right? Okay, so I got a bunch in packages right here. Like I said, picked up from Carl's 2 new Googan bait zingers, which I got 30% off, and I got a white color and then more of a bluegill color, like a shad, bluegill. Those are my 2 favorite colors. So we got a white one and bluegill one. I like to match the hatch. There's a lot of shad, there's a lot of bluegill. You gotta know your pond, know the lake you're fishing. Does it have a lot of shad, a lot of bluegill? You gotta think here. And I also got some Z-Man ones, and I have a bunch other in my tackle box. Good things about the spinnerbait is that, 1, you're gonna cover a lot of water. Spinnerbaits, they're pretty heavy, and you can reel them in at a steady pace. I know sometimes you gotta find what works. Sometimes I slow roll it if it's really early spring, or try to find what they're hidden, or just do a nice steady reel. But you can cast it around a bunch of cover, you know, stumps, trees, logs, all that stuff. This will hop right off it, and it can trigger some bites. And you know, it's a bigger bait. If you get a 1/2 ounce, which is what I usually do, you know, it's a big bait. They got 2 big blades on there, and they also got, you know, it's just a big body. And what I do to make it even better, to sweeten the pot a little bit, if we want to catch that big mama, what I always put on is a Swimbait at the end. So I just picked up a bunch new Exo Swims from BioSpawn. I'll show you guys all these in shad and bluegill colors, and then this other one I just had. But these are gonna be great swim baits that you are gonna wanna put on the back of your spinner baits, because with this, it's just a huge meal for a big bass looking for that big meal in the spring, because they're feeding. And when you're throwing this thing right through some brush, right through some trees, some logs, there's gonna be a big girl in there that's gonna wanna swallow this up. This is no joke, this is good. And the reason I picked or bought BioSpawn ones is because these are super durable. I've used these in the past. And when you're catching so many fish, if you find them that day, these will last. These are durable, they're great, and they actually have a pretty decent scent. So I definitely recommend these. You can check them out down below in that link, like I said before. Spinnerbait, that's definitely my confidence bait walking in. Fishing when I'm fishing in the spring, covers a lot of water, it's big. Big bites equals big fish, but you can also catch some smaller fish on it. But I think it does it all, and that's why I picked that as my favorite spring break. Oh, not spring break, spring bait. All right, I can't even speak. All right, now on to bait number 2. Coming in at bait number 2 is gonna be the jerkbait. As you see here, I got the Googan Squad one. I actually just got this in my Mr. Tackle box. Also, if you want a Mr. Tackle box for $5, I'll also put a link down below, because I actually got this one for my most recent one. You can get a bunch of goodies for $5. Use my code, I'll put a link down below. But anyways, you got a bunch here. I got some smaller ones, some bigger ones that I haven't opened yet, and I also have a full tackle box full of a bunch of them. But the favorite part about this bait, and the reason why I use it in the spring, is because the water's still kind of cold, and a jerkbait in cold water it's perfect, guys. Like, I'm talking, you cast it, you do a little twitch, twitch pause. I mean, everyone usually figures out their own way to do it, but what I usually do is I give it a good cast, give it a good whirl, and I usually do 2 to 3 twitches, but then I pause it because a lot of them, and I'm not sure with some of these, I know one of these will, but one of these is a suspending jerkbait. So what a suspending jerkbait is going to do is when you jerk and you pause it, it's going to float back. It's going to float back and up. And when the bass is following that, you jerk, and on that pause, and when it's floating back in his face, he's not going to resist it. Jerkbaits, I've caught so many pre-spawn fish and a bunch of bass in the spring on the jerkbait. It is just too good. It's too good, and this is pretty much for me, the only time of year I pick up a jerkbait and toss it around. So I'm really looking forward to using a new Scout and a bunch of other ones I got from my mystery tackle boxes and from Carl's. So that's my favorite bait number 2. I know this is going pretty quick, but I just want to give you guys some information so you guys can move along and catch some big fish. Now moving on to bait 3. I missed the camera. Bait 3. Moving on to bait 3. On to bait 3. Moving on to bait 3. My third favorite bait to use, and I wasn't a big believer in it before, but now I'm starting to come around to it more, is Swimbait. So here's what I have for Swimbaits. Now I don't have a lot, so all you Swimbait guys, be polite in the comment section down below. I only have a few, but ones I actually caught a bunch of fish on this live target bluegill last year during the spawn, and I also have these, which I now have for this year's spring from the Catchco, wearing the Catchco shirt, the bull shad. You guys can get these on Carl's. You can get them 30% off, and they're super good, especially in the spring. Now, I'm not a big swimbait guy. I know there's huge swimbaits out there that catch big bass, and it's hard to get into a new type of fishing when you haven't done it before. So last year I picked up just a small little bluegill swimbait, and I was just slow reeling it. The first time I was out there in the spring, I used a spinnerbait already, caught some fish, but I want to experiment. So I threw this out there, and this thing was getting absolutely munched. I mean, when these bass are on beds and this is going right by their bed, dude, that's all they're doing. They're scaring bluegill off all the time from their beds. Have you ever got a chance to bank fish and see a bass on their bed? You see there's a bunch of bluegill around who are trying to go for the bass's eggs, and the bass doesn't always eat them, but he'll scare them off. And sometimes he will eat them because, I mean, if they're intruding, he's just going to eat them. So that's why this bait swimming through the beds, and it's just an absolute, I don't know, it's just good. But I think this Swimbait is definitely an underrated bait. I hear a lot of good things about it in the spring, and I just started to use it, so I'm a beginner with it. But one like this is going to be really good. These are just small ones. People have some big ones, but especially the Catchco ones, these things will have some good movement. They're a good size over these beds. The bass won't be able to resist this. And so that's my bait right there, number 3. So number 1, we had the spinnerbait, right? Spinnerbait, absolute dinner piece right here with a Swimbait trailer. Bait number 2, where was bait? Oh, I threw them all, but the jerkbait was my second favorite bait to use in the spring. And bait number 3 was right here, was the Swimbaits. Now I know I got a weak Swimbait game, but we'll get some bigger ones in the future. So those right there are my top 3 Swimbaits. If you guys like more sit-down videos like this, please let me know down in the comments below. I haven't gone out fishing that much. You guys know the whole virus thing going on, or you better. But I want to get out soon, but I figured since I made a top 3 summer baits video, top 3 fall, while I was fishing, I figured I'd sit down today and make a top 3 spring baits. So if you guys did enjoy, hit the thumbs up button down below, guys. We just hit 8,000 subscribers, so thank you so much for that. I think we're around 8,200 right now. If you are new here, subscribe to the channel. We're going to get a lot of good content for you guys this year. It's going to be a big year. We're trying to do a lot of fishing this year. And I'll leave my social media links on the screen right now. I post all the time on Instagram if you guys want to check it out. And let me know what you want me to do next for sit-down videos. I can talk about the Googan Squad's new jigs, which a lot of people have told me to do. I can do a new video on how to get fishing sponsors, because I have a few. So let me know, guys. I hope you guys did enjoy this one. Thank you so much for watching, and we will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.